Have you ever heard of a heist so perfect that, decades later, the trail remains cold, and the priceless loot never recovered? Let me take you back to the early hours of March 18, 1990, the day one of the most baffling and mysterious art thefts in history shook the world. It was the day 13 irreplaceable masterpieces vanished from the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston, and not a single piece has ever been found. But how did two men, disguised as police officers, outsmart the security, steal $500 million worth of art, and disappear without a trace? This is the story of a heist that feels like fiction. But every second of it is real. And it all starts with a knock on the museum door. At 1:24 a.m., two men dressed in full police uniforms buzzed the museum's side entrance. They told the young night guards there'd been a disturbance and they needed to investigate. Against protocol, the guards let them in. Within minutes, both guards were tied up in the basement, their eyes and hands bound with duct tape. They were told not to make a sound. And they didn't, for the next 7 hours. The so-called police officers now had free rein inside the museum. What they took was not random. They moved through the galleries with purpose. They stole the concert by Vermeer, one of only 34 known paintings by the Dutch master. They took Rembrandt's Storm on the Sea of Galilee, his only known seascape. They cut Chez Tortoni by Manet straight out of its frame. They even took a small bronze eagle finial from the top of a Napoleonic flag. But here's what's strange. They left behind other even more valuable works. Michelangelo's drawings, untouched, Titian's Europa, not even glanced at. Why? What made these 13 pieces the specific target? Was it a collector's order, an inside job, or something more obscure? The thieves were in the museum for 81 minutes. That's unusually long for a robbery. Most art thefts are quick, in and out. But these men took their time. They even sat down to rest. Then just before dawn, they vanished into the quiet streets of Boston, never to be seen again. When museum staff arrived that morning, they were stunned. Empty frames were hanging on the walls. The museum still keeps them up today as a haunting reminder. The total value of the stolen works? Over $500 million. It remains the single largest property theft in the world. The FBI immediately launched an investigation, tips poured in, suspects were questioned, mobsters, international smugglers, ex-employees, all were considered. But not a single arrest was ever made. No security footage, no fingerprints, no alarms tripped, just 13 missing artworks, and silence. Over the years, strange clues emerged. In 1994, the museum received an anonymous letter. It claimed the paintings were safe. It even offered a proof-of-life photo. But the trail went cold again. In 2013, the FBI made a dramatic announcement. They knew who committed the heist. They didn't release the names but said the thieves were part of a criminal organization based in the Northeast. But by then, both suspects were dead. And the art? Still missing. Over 30 years later, theories abound. Some believe the paintings are hidden in a secret underground vault. Others say they were destroyed, perhaps in a fire, a tragic end to irreplaceable beauty. Some claim a wealthy collector orchestrated the theft and now displays them in private in some distant corner of the world. And still others believe the paintings are close, maybe even in Boston, waiting. But the Gardner Museum has never given up. They still offer a $10 million reward, no questions asked, for the return of the stolen art. And those empty frames? They're still on the walls, waiting for their masterpieces to come home. What makes this mystery so haunting isn't just the value of the paintings, it's the silence. No one has claimed responsibility. No art has resurfaced on the black market, not a single verified sighting in over 3 decades. The heist has inspired documentaries, books, even Netflix specials, but the truth still locked away, maybe in someone's memory, maybe in a forgotten attic, maybe in plain sight. So, the next time you see a dusty painting in an antique shop or visit a gallery in some quiet town, ask yourself, could you be looking at one of the world's most famous stolen treasures? And if so, would you even know? The Gardner heist is not just a crime story, it's a puzzle, a ghost story, and a reminder that sometimes the greatest mysteries don't come from legends. They come from real life. And they might still be unfolding, even now. Are the paintings lost forever, or is the next clue just waiting to be found? Only time and silence will tell.